2, 1. We are
we live, yeah, bitch. We live. We got 100 shows in this bitch. Don't even know how to work this shit.
I'm over this shit.
Oh my goodness.
100% over. I'm fuck this. Hold on. Let me tilt this screen down and get my fucking drink on. I ain't got to be worried.
You got your drink?
Put that shit over there.
You got your drink.
I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
You sure?
I'm okay.
Now, bitch, good evening.
Right, good evening.
We are here. 100 episodes of the BGKH show.
Get my motherfucking tacos.
See, this bitch is drinking. She's drinking. She's trying to eat tacos and shit. See, that's what happens when you get classy than motherfucker. You want to have tacos and drinks all the motherfucking time.
God damn it. All right, yes. It's episode 100 of the BGKH show. What's that? That's the blacks, the gays,
get it together, bitch. Get it together.
People, and all the humans. All right, good. Yeah, go ahead with your little intro.
We just did the motherfucking intro, bitch. You did the whole motherfucking intro. So, bitch, go and carry the show, bitch.
Oh, well, good.
You have the script? You have the agenda?
Oh, I can pull up the agenda, honey, real quick.
Let me go ahead and change this password right here. Let me just click on here. Okay. Log on now, bitch.
But listen, if you turn it off, then, we won't have a show, and then I can just go home, so I'll be fine.
I can always show.
Fuck y'all laughing at? We got a studio audience, and then the girls try to get cute.
I mean, everybody shows up at the same time. Listen, it is June 24th, and yes, we are here at an undisclosed location in Upper South St. Marlboro in the woods. We are having a sleepover with tacos and boys and tacos. That's what we got. We got boys, tacos. We got French 75s. We got French 75s.
Will it turn into like
after party?
Like a lesbian?
Well, there's a boom boom room downstairs. I can get back and get up. I mean, if you into that, I'm just saying if that's what you want to do. But anyway,
I'm always with it.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. This is our 100th show. This is what we do all the time. You're on camera, please. Show your. Thank you. We are very happy that we have everyone here. We are happy that you guys are joining us tonight. It has been a hectic day already. Bitch, I can't stop sweating. I got this bead of sweat that's rolling down off my forehead. And there's one that went right down in between my butt cheeks just now. Just right down there. I mean, I can't help it if some people are not blessed. I mean, it just went right between my butt cheeks. I mean, that's what it is.
Got lost.
If you have a map, you can figure it out.
Everybody got that map.
Congratulations, 100 shows! And we're gonna move. We're gonna just dash over that. Keep on going. So, how was your week?
Well, let's see what happened since last Wednesday. All right, so we'll start off on a sad note, but it's sad, but I'm trying to be like. I'm trying to avoid saying, "Oh no."
Let me get my tissue ready just in case.
No, it's not that. So my other uncle, I don't fuck with none of my family. So we all know that. Everyone knows that. Through the 100 episodes, we chronicled, the slow decline and death of my father. We talked about how I fuck with my family and all of that. And then on I guess Thursday or Friday, my Uncle Gary, the preacher, the one that turned the whole fucking funeral, and his wife, the prophet, and all of that. So, yes, it was all of that. Now, I fucking remember.
I'm not going to lie, because when you said it to me, I was like, oh, as soon as you just said prophetess, I remember exactly what it is now. Okay.
Yeah, I just want to digress quickly and say that, I was already having a stressful day because my sister was in care, all of that whole thing, and I really was like a quarter of a second away from jumping up and saying, I paid for this whole motherfucking funeral, and we will not be talking about this shit. But I was like, the spirit of my grandmother was like, just let it go. But anyway, so Gary They're not uncles anymore. They're just niggas. Gary called my sister. It was like, your Uncle Rocky is in the hospital. Kidney failure, blah, blah, blah. And his wife, Lorraine, she didn't have COVID. She's been in the hospital for like 14 days. All right. I was like, and then Kendra's telling me this, and I'm like, I don't feel, I don't want nobody to die, but I'm like, why are you telling me this? Like, what?
Like, this affects me how.
And so the really sad part is that he died on Saturday, which is also his big brother, my father's birthday. So he died on his brother's birthday. And so, so like at first I was like, wow, okay. And then so I was like, all right, so I'm going to reach out to cousins. Of course, I know what it's like to have, a parent die or whatever. So
none of these cousins I've heard you mention before. So clearly there's not necessarily a strong relationship.
No, but still.
Okay, all right.
But I called the one that actually came to my father's funeral, Paris. You have a cousin named Paris.
Okay, come on, Paris.
But you too, so. Yeah, we don't have that kind of family. So it's just an academic.
He's single? Proportionally cute, gray hair man?
he's bald, light skinned.
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with a little yellow in your diet every now and then. I'm just saying.
Anyway, so I texted him. Now we haven't exchanged messages since last year, since my father died, and so I was like, "Hey, cuz, sorry to hear about your father." And then, like an hour later, he texts back and says, "I don't know who this is, but I don't give a fuck about my family." And then I liked him. Yeah. So I'm like, "This is your cousin." I told him my real name, and he know my real name, but And so he's like, "Oh yeah, you know what? Thank you." He's like, maybe now that he's dead, he'll finally see if that bullshit ass heaven that he believed in is a real thing. And so I was like, "Woo, this is awkward." Got a lot of issues going on. Parents got a lot of issues because apparently he's like, once I told my mother and father, my Aunt Nora, the second wife is Lorraine, the first wife is Aunt Nora.
Okay.
Once he told Rocky and Nora that he didn't believe in all that, I guess, I always wondered, I was like, at the funeral, it was basically like, he was standing next to me and like his own father, he was like, hey, fuck you, hey. But I was too deep in my own shit at the funeral to be like, really investigating what all of that was about.
Listen, we are gay men, honey. We had never had.
I had bookmarked it.
Was going on.
I had bookmarked it.
Like, oh my
God. Exactly.
Bitch, you always scope the room. I'm just saying, that's just what happened. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
So there's that. And then, like my sister kept telling me, like, yeah, so they're talking about having this socially distant funeral. And I said, why are you telling me this, Kendra? Because there's no conceivable scenario. I'm sorry, let me finish this taco real quick.
So you finish that taco. Let's move on to my week.
That was it.
Okay, so now we're back on you. Okay.
No, I'm done.
So that's it? The rest of the week was fine? Nothing else happened? Nothing?
I rebuilt, me and Papa Urs rebuilt and refinished a fuck pit.
From, what's his face?
Yeah, from the guy that died.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
It looks fabulous.
There should be a lot of stuff there. We were talking about that. There should be a lot of stuff for the gear show.
Yeah, we'll be able to go through it.
Yeah.
Type it up.
Okay, cool.
So that was about it.
Okay. So let's see. So my week was pretty good. Nothing really exciting happened. Everyday normal shit. Nothing else really jumped off. Trying to think of something else going on. No, that's really it. Hung out. Went to Pentagon City Mall. Aching to get out. Right, aching to get out. Get in the car, so it was 4 of us. So it's me, Deviant, 007, Gray. Like we're all
y'all ain't about the rest of us?
So we get down to the mall.
No, pause. Wait a minute, though. And there they are right there. Well, they're on that side on y'all screen. They sitting right there. You see the one?
4 seats in my car.
I mean, but y'all could have told us y'all could have told us that y'all was going to the mall. I mean, I like going to the mall.
Can we come back on me, please?
I like going to come back to me. I mean, I like going to.
Please come back to me, please.
Let him finish the story.
Can you come back to me, please?
Okay, I mean, I wanted a nasty ass pretzel from Auntie.
But that's just it. Auntie Annie's wasn't even the fuck open.
Oh no!
Auntie Annie's wasn't open. The Apple store wasn't open. It wasn't shit.
You would just walk around and get your cardio.
We went to. I got some nasty ass motherfucking taco chips from that goddamn Chipotle because they were greasy and oily. They didn't taste. They didn't. Back. So then when I did. And I had that same look all day long. I was just like, I like the crunchy, you know what I mean? And it wasn't there for me. So I was kind of like, all right, whatever. We wound up leaving, and then there was some more alcohol involved, and I got drunk, and it was a whole bunch of shit. But I wound up getting home okay in one piece. So that's just all that happened. But other than that, nothing else really went on. I had a I did have date. Bad show with that, but I did have a date. I don't need joking for now, you bitch. Get your
I got mine, baby.
Right, I was gonna say y'all stay fucking, you stay fucking, he a hoe, and we know he a hoe. I mean, listen.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Wait a minute. Most of us follow Deviant's Twitter. But wait a minute, if he's not a hoe, then he be lying on his Twitter then?
I am a sexual liaison.
We are not doing this that we focus on.
Oh, okay.
So, anyway, other than that, the week was good. I mean, it was. I this book bag that I carry to work every single day. It is my favorite.
Oh, thank God. We finally talk about that.
As one of our brothers always said, I was going to say something, but I'm not.
Go ahead.
But all I'm saying is, it's my favorite book bag that I carry to work every single day. And
My Little Pony.
The bitch, it got a little raggedy. The little strings that came out, and the bitch, like, I'm walking through my building and down, and I'm holding on to it. The bitch looks but it was the most comfortable bag I'd ever had. And I actually found it online, the exact same bag. In fact, when we were down in Richmond, Busch Gardens, I saw the book bag, and I was like, oh my gosh, you get the book bag. And I was like, oh, never mind. It was there, but I didn't get it. Got the book bag, it came, and I'm so excited. I have the same exact book bag. I'm so excited.
You going to show it to us?
Okay. I'm excited about it.
I mean, right? You I mean, did it change your fucking? I mean, you act like the bag your fucking life.
So the book bag actually did change because it had it and it's very comfortable. It has every single pocket in there I ever need. Listen, if something break out today, all I need to do is grab that bag. I can start over wherever I need to go. I have all vital pieces of information. So I'm talking about for me, for my mom, for like bank accounts, for like births.
You might not want to keep that all in the bag.
But what I'm saying is, it's that bag you carry. It becomes that utility bag. You put all the shit in, and then you realize how valuable it actually is. You're like, bitch, I got everything. Like my life is in this bag.
Right.
Like, bitch, what? I do banking from that motherfucker. I can do things that bag holds everything. So I gotta transfer the shit over, take some shit out, and put some shit in it. But it's all right.
Oh, so y'all went to Macy's while y'all was here?
I ordered that on Amazon.
No, Deviant said that y'all was at Macy's.
I didn't say
that. Macy's was in the mall, and we've gone past it. We actually
Nordstrom's open. I said that and Macy's were the only things.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I mean, so
let's stop. Shout out to Lola and shout out to Tyra Nicole.
Yes.
They were invited to the show, and they both could not make it. One is out of town, and one just could not make it, so it's okay, and we're fine with that. But special shout out to
it's not right.
But it's okay.
But it's okay.
We gonna make it anyway. So that's just what we gonna do. But listen, love you all. Thank you for responding back, and next time maybe we get you guys there. So that's
episode 200.
somewhere in there. So. But other than that, the week was good. Like it was, it's been pretty good.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that my slave came to visit.
But are we still there? We already we left
was done.
Yeah, I was. We left from your stuff already. We back on you now?
Are you trying to
I'm
show
sorry.
out?
Here we go.
Your house?
All right, here we go. All right, we're back at your house.
No,
We're back at your, no, we're there. We're back at your house.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Come on,
It's fine. It's fine. Go ahead with your little script.
I'm done.
I missed this.
So, what are we gonna talk about next? Where we gonna start on next?
I didn't actually read the script, so I'll let you read. I usually don't read the script until like 5 minutes before the show because I want my discussion points to be extemporaneous.
So let's talk about
not that.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can start here.
I don't know because I didn't see what it said.
Do you have your glasses on, honey? Are they clean? Do you have a smudge on them? Let me slide this over. Let me turn the lights up on you.
Stunt queens. Oh, yeah. Fuck her. Fuck her too. Fuck her too. Fuck all of them.
But this is what I'm talking about.
Yes, definitely let's start there.
So, listen. Last week, we were having
water.
Yes. Thank you. We have a staff member that's grabbing some water. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Two, please. No.
They're making interns so sexy these days. Would it be a problem if we had sex with our interns? I mean, I can get anything out of the pop machine.
I cannot. So there was an article, and it came up in conversation this week a couple different times about straight men who do not wipe their butts because they feel like it makes them gay.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And so literally, this was I found this on Hornet.com.
That's nasty.
Right. And it says so there's a letter from this particular woman who actually wrote into this column, and she says, so my husband is turning me off. We've been married for 2 months. What should I do? He wears white briefs. When I was washing clothes, the whole seat of his underwear had brown stains in them. It made me sick. Then once I was riding him, then after we were done and he got up, there was a brown streak where his ass had been on the bed. So I finally got some personal cleansing cloths and put them on top of the toilet. He never touched them. I finally mentioned the personal cleansing cloths. He got pissed and screamed in my face. He told me that a real man doesn't go in between his cheeks or spread them open for anything. Men do not spread their cheeks to wipe or clean. Nothing goes between them. What needs to happen here? Suggestions, advice, and no bashing. That was her letter to the person. So, listen, I've heard some ridiculous shit in my life. Like, I remember growing up when people talked about the earrings. So I had both my ears pierced at one particular point, and I think at one point you're supposed to get the left ear pierced as opposed to the right ear. And so at the time when I got mine done, I got both of them done, and then I got them done a second time, and it's like, so I was like, all right, fine, I ain't give a fuck. And I had a conversation with my cousin, who's like 5 years older than me. She's very much in the church. And I told her I was going to get my ears pierced. She was like, don't do that. You can't come to church. I said, I beg your pardon? So you realize that made me go to church when I just got them done. And I was sitting in church, ears still bleeding. I was like,
I don't give a fuck.
I was just like, and I was in my 20s, so I was kind of pissed off about that. But anyway, so, I get it that the ideas of being a man or straight man or whatever, there's some things but is this about being straight or gay, or is this just nasty?
This is nasty.
Frankly.
Man been in the shower. He can when he's in the shower, he can.
This is not the time for audience participation.
We have the audience.
Because the audience supposed to be here quietly.
Sorry.
So if you go to the Jimmy Fallon show, do motherfuckers in the audience be shouting out when Janet Jackson's on the show? Do they be like, I love you, Janet? They do. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Maximus.
But in any event,
Shut up.
but is this a gay thing or is this just a nasty thing?
That's just nasty as shit.
Like I don't understand what that is.
Ain't nobody saying you got to dig all up in your hole, but you can at least let some water run down up in it.
Well, no, I mean you should dig it. Listen, let's stop. So we can share too much. I'm gonna share too much information. So listen, I don't know about everybody else, but listen, and everybody know I got a big ass, and so it just is what it is.
You do?
So if I bitch, fuck you, you can't
These girls are trying.
They are just too much. Oh my god, they're too much.
This was like a time.
Ain't still drawing that bitch's certificate. I'm just trying to
Right.
Jesus.
Right.
But anyway, all I'm
right. They ain't got their patches and paddles.
Right. They ain't had no ceremonial
certificates or nothing.
But so all I'm saying is, so listen, even when you just every day you go to the bathroom, you wipe your ass, and most people will reach behind and wipe, but then listen, it's if you reach behind and wipe and you clean and you think everything's fine, try something different. Go from the front and then wipe again. You'll be amazed at what you find. Just like the first time that you may have used a wet wipe. You thought you were clean than a motherfucker. You were like, yes, I'm clean as shit. Bitch, you got that baby wipe. You were like, yeah, I'm just going to change the direction on that wipe, and it will be amazing what you find. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So, does that make me gay? Absolutely, because I'm gonna clean that ass.
What makes you gay is these motherfucking sequin Converse you got on.
Things here, honey.
I mean, they're hot though. I mean, they are quite sexy. You know, those would go real good with that sequin shirt I wear. What size you wear?
11.
Oh, it's way too big for my foot.
Way too small.
Not my issue.
Would you want the gayconverse.com?
Just Converse. They made it special for me. They felt my gayness.
Yeah, everyone feels your gayness. I think this woman should. I mean, listen, she only been married for 2 months.
Well,
I know that.
I don't even know how long she's been married, but again,
she said 2 months. She said we've been married for 2 months. She get that shit a no because.
But I mean, so for
you ain't got that too attached to it.
For our audience members, does anybody have anything else to add to that? Anything different? Like what? I mean,
30 seconds.
But he's just gonna sit in the water.
Well, that'll be better than what he said.
And the water's gonna be brown.
And I'm sure, and then he probably got dingleberries and all that type of shit. And especially if he's hairy as hell.
Well, take him to a water park, and you know those long slides.
She can clean out for him.
Ooh. Listen. I am not a fan of withholding sex as a rule. If you tell them until you clean your ass, you will not be getting none of this.
Go ahead, that's a strata.
Yeah, because everything else is packaged in that general area, so everything else will stink too.
Okay.
And wait, she just
I know his balls is big.
Because she even said that when she was riding him, everything slid down. And so I'm like, bitch, if he lays on his stomach one night, it's a good hot sweaty night. That shit rolls forward.
And then when he's ready, and then when he rolls over,
and she decides to go down,
his funk is just clapping out into the room as his cheeks is just clapping the funk out into the room, and little particles of sweat are just flapping out into the room. Oh my God, that's a lot.
Maybe she was smart and duct taped them clothes first.
Listen, and how did she not know this before she got married? Like, I mean, at some point,
see, this is what happened. These people that be like, oh, I don't believe in sex before marriage. This is the kind of shit that you need to find out ahead of time.
So listen, all I'm gonna say is this is one of our nominees for Stunt Queen of the Week.
But him or her?
Because first of all, I know her girlfriend was like, bitch, you ain't know this before you married this motherfucker?
But wait a minute, there's also someone that was a Reddit user and actually talked about this, and they said his response was, if you're a grown ass man and you still wipe your ass, you're not a real man. This should be self-explanatory, but apparently I have to justify myself. There's nothing more feminine than using a product on your body. Makeup is 100% feminine, and by the same logic, so is wiping your ass. I haven't wiped my ass in about 4 years, and I've never had any issues. My digestive system is in the top 1% in terms of regularity, functionality, and performance, and I've never ever once felt the need to clean up after myself. If you shit and you need to wipe, you've got an emasculated GI tract, and that's your own issue. Man up and get your shit literally together. And I was like, listen, everybody associated with this article is nominated for Stunt Queen of the Week. I just cannot. I just cannot.
He must have skin issues.
Skin issues? He ain't got no skin. That shit is raw. It's a hole and it's a sore. There's 2 exits for the poop. It's like, we take this one or we take that one?
Wait a minute. Think about this. Clean them out after 4 years of not doing it. That's a sensitive ass, right? Oh my God. Could you imagine the fun you could have once you clean
So I'm still stuck on the stench after 4 years. That's what I'm stuck at. Because I mean, listen, just imagine a whole day of being around, you being out doing whatever, and then whoever you laying around with, you go and lay your head, you're like, oh, go take a shower, babe. But 4 years of that,
That's
there's gonna be about 2 years of cleaning. A man scent is good. Like if you go to work every day, you come back home and there's a little scent on the drawers or something. Like I can work with that. But bitch, you playing ball, you building a house. I decline. That's I decline. We have another nominee for Stunt Queen of the Week. So Donald Trump. So hold on. So he had his rally in Tulsa, and the K-pop fans and TikTok users
And me.
So I mean, we all amongst friends and me.
How long did you get? Were you getting those text messages before you cussed them out and blocked them?
I have so many text messages out here. Like, bitch, what? Who are you, bitch?
Getting messages from Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump and the Republican Party.
Oh wow!
Well, so here's the thing: the K-pop users they said that Trump has been actively trying to disenfranchise millions of Americans in so many ways, and this was a protest that I was able to perform, which was what one of the people who were one of the K-pop and TikTok users had actually said. Now, they were also saying that following Saturday's abysmal turnout, Trump campaign manager Brad Parscale blamed Black Lives Matter and protesters outside of the BOK Center for the small crowd, claiming they even blocked access to the metal detectors, preventing people from entering, which was a lie because I think it was only like 7 or 10 people that was out there actually protesting.
Right, and then that one white woman that had
Black
Lives Matter t-shirt, they arrested her and she had a fucking ticket to get in the event.
Right. So, but what happened was they said that in a statement on Sunday, Parscale rubbished reports of the TikTok campaign, criticized reporters, and insisted attendance had been dampened by a week's worth of fake news media warning people away from the rally because of COVID. Yes. But politicians and analysts, many with children who participated, confirmed the scheme to disrupt the rally. And basically what was said was he was played by young people and K-pop fans who ordered tickets with no intention of going. This was said by Joy Reid on MSNBC following her speech. And so as Trump and his campaign gloated that more than 1 million tickets had been requested, there was probably 6,000 people that actually showed up.
Yeah.
So listen, my K-pop and my TikTok fans,
Out to the people.
stay woke, and I'm here for it. Listen, do it again.
And they were expecting so many people that they went through the hassle of building an overflow stage outside because the arena sat 19,000 people.
Yes.
So that means they expected at least 30 to 40,000 people to show up because they built a separate outdoor arena in anticipation of all of the people who wouldn't be able to get inside the arena.
And my girl AOC had a comment as well. She basically just said, "You got rocked by teens on TikTok." She said they tricked you into believing a million people wanted your white supremacist open mind enough to pack an arena during COVID. K-pop allies, we see and appreciate your contributions in the fight for justice.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm here for AOC. You know what, AOC? Come on, AOC.
Who won her primary, by the way.
Yes,
So
she beat, what's his last name? Martin?
no, she was the incumbent.
No, but what I'm saying is she won, the person she won against.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't.
There's also another black gay man who beat Ruben Diaz. That was the one who came to the.
That was Michigan, I think it was.
No, this was also in New York.
Also, okay.
And where the incumbent said, "I'm only here because I'm up for re-election," and he said that he didn't realize the mic was hot that he was speaking into, so he lost his primary.
Wow.
So, and he had been in Congress for 18 years.
Wow.
So. Oh no! All right, so next up, y'all good Judy, Bob Johnson.
So listen, I don't know if anybody's heard about this, but Bob Johnson always talks about getting reparations for slavery, and he says that his latest thing is that he said that U.S. remains separate and unequal without reparations. And basically, he cited this Kerner Commission report on the 1967 race riots, and basically he was saying that the nation is the commission report said that we are moving towards two societies, one black and one white, separate and unequal. And that was the basis for his entire thing of saying that we are due reparations. He went through this whole long calculation. I'm skimming through this entire article. He went through this whole long calculation and came up with these numbers and these figures for each individual person based on their No. It was going to be based on their income, education, savings, and home ownership. And he was saying that basically it would be a one-time cash payment to each individual person of $350,767.
I'm with it.
Each
Give me my damn check.
He was saying that there's over
Run me my coins, bitch.
42 million African American eligible descendants, and it's going to be a total price tag of $14.7 trillion to do this. So my question is, bitch, I mean, we already had Happy Stimulus Day, so I mean, that was fine. Everybody got their $1,200, or a lot of people did. Some people did, some people didn't.
But then again,
But listen, can you imagine this reparations day? Did you get your $350? Bitch.
I believe in reparations.
Somebody would call me, I'd be like, bitch, do I know you?
I think that those reparations shouldn't necessarily be in the form of cash payments.
Go on.
Right. Yeah. And so that's what I'm talking about. Things like forgiving student loans, investment in infrastructure in black communities. Because I've always hated the word African American. Investment in, black communities and black education. Because
pay off my mortgage.
If you just to me, that's too direct a form of payment. I mean, no, that's, a lot of people would say that, but to me, I mean, I get that, but I look at the people like in my neighborhood. If you just gave them a check of $350,000, that wouldn't translate into generational wealth, and it would turn into motherfuckers with Bentleys and all kinds of shit. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but without some financial literacy, you get it just be like a bunch of people winning the lottery. And where would you be in 5 years from now? Yes, some of us will pay off our student loans. Yes, some of us will be like, well, bitch, my house, I owe $250,000 on my house. We pay this bitch off and invest and do whatever. But a lot of people, because they don't have those concepts of financial literacy and generational wealth, that money would help them in the very, 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 very short term, like for a year, and then they'd be in the same shit. So it wouldn't help the community.
I can't even imagine somebody give me a $350,000 bitch. I'll turn
I can.
Here, and somebody saying to me like, "Where you at? You got your $350?" I'll be like,
right. So
I went through $350,000 in a year.
If you give people $350,000, but they still live in a neighborhood with no jobs. They still live in neighborhoods where the schools are terrible. They still live in neighborhoods where the police are attacking and killing them. What is that $350,000 ultimately going to accomplish?
Nothing.
But if you say, all right, even if we gave, let's say if we gave them something more modest, like, everybody gets 50, and then you take that other $300,000 per person, which is still $10 trillion, and say we're going to invest in schools, we're going to invest in jobs, we're going to do a bunch of things that will help the community, then I think that's a better way of doing it. Because even those of us with education still might, and then so when shit is fucked up 2 or 3 years from now, and you come back to the government like, we need help. They were like, no, we gave you $350,000.
Exactly.
It was $14 trillion.
Right, we gave y'all $14 trillion. Don't come, like your buddy, you be like, you ask for some money, like, don't ever come back to this house again. Ask me for nothing. Right. So that's my thing. Is that also it's a lot of it's a start, but then everybody around this table is clearly the descendants of slaves. But I mean, are we going to start to go back to quadroons and octoroons? I mean, how far back do you go? And is this a diminishing proportion of payment? If you're too light skinned, or I mean, you know what I'm saying? So that just seems like a very, and then just imagine the lawsuits of light skinned people that are like, I'm black and I've lived in a black neighborhood all my life, but and because black people already have such a hard time proving their ancestry, it would be next to impossible for some people to prove that $350,000 worth of proof for their ancestry.
That was part of the issue as well. And one of the other issues and one of the other questions that was raised by a Fox News reporter was they asked Bob Johnson who would be responsible for providing this $14 trillion.
The government.
But he also said, how can the U.S. can afford it in the time of economic turmoil? And what he actually said was the taxpayers will pay for this because of two reasons, particularly. One is that it's atonement for 200 plus years of slavery, segregation, Jim Crowism, and the denial of people opportunity rights. But the result of that payment would be to bring African Americans equal to white Americans in terms of opportunity, wealth, and income. That right there is a problem because it's still, just because you give me $350,000 does not mean that I'm going to be equal to some other white person.
Right.
It doesn't.
That's why you get we get less and do more with the money.
We're always going to have to do more because there's that whole thing of the black tax. I'm still going to have to do 3 times as much as that white person that over there.
Also, this whole shit about where's the money going to come from, let's be clear. Since January, this country has pulled $7 trillion out of its ass.
Right. Yeah.
And Planet Water still brand. Right.
Exactly. Since January, this country literally pulled $7 trillion out of thin air. Because that money wasn't just sitting around before now. It wasn't like we had some savings account like grandma didn't be like, here, baby.
Right.
I'd have kept $7 trillion in my bra all this time.
Right.
Betsy Ross ain't sitting around with $7 trillion in a bag under her mattress that she just decided to give us. So I'm not saying we did add to the deficit. So let's be clear, it's all one thing. But when this country wants to do something, it can do it.
Yeah.
So let's just be clear. So that argument holds less water to me because
So all right. So here's another nomination for Sun Queen as well. Let's talk about Kanye.
Who?
Let's talk about Kanye West.
Who?
They're saying it has been said that he. I don't know if everybody remembers the fact that he was a MAGA Trump supporter, wearing his MAGA hat. He went to go and meet with Trump, and he came back. He was all gung ho, and I felt like he was doing his old Sambo shuffle, coming out the door like, "Yes, son, yes." But that's just my own personal thing. But
wait a minute, Cortez Macpac is like, run me my money.
But
he's probably like, you know how much rubber I could buy for $30? $50,000?
Damn. Oh my God. I can just see it now.
Look, I have my whole car covered in rubber. You know, motherfucker driving around with solid gold rims.
So here's the thing. They've been talking about this lately because Kanye has been vocal with the things that have been going on with George Floyd and donating money for his daughter to go to college, as well as paying for legal fees for some of the other victims as of lately. And I think Breonna Taylor was one of them, and there was another person that he was actually paying their legal fees for. Well, one of his good friends that he has known since childhood, and he is a GOOD music artist, GLC. He claims that Kanye has thrown away all of his MAGA hats and will not be supporting Trump any longer. And the only reason why he wore the hat was to get attention of the president for a positive reason. Okay, so his friend GLC reported or appeared on the Red Pill podcast with Van Latham earlier this year, and he said Kanye told him, "Bro, I'm just telling you that we got this amazing woman out of jail in Florida, right? We didn't really get to have that meeting until I put that hat on." So he looking at me, he looking at it as more so, okay, I wear the hat, I get the stones thrown at me, I'll have people hate me, but people are going to get free. And he's saying that is the whole reason why Kanye was wearing this MAGA hat, Trump, and everything else.
Yeah,
so now they're thinking that it's been a hoax. And so I just don't necessarily know how I feel about this, because at the end of the day, I'm kind of like, Kanye, yeah, I mean, this is a great attempt to try to... No. Steve Harvey is another person. Yeah, that's another one. I still can't quite figure that out, but anyway. So this is why Kanye is on the list for Stunt Queen of the Week, because I just feel like that was a Hail Mary to go and figure out something else that's going on. So I don't know.
Girl, fuck her. All right.
So that's it. We have these 4 people for Stunt Queen of the Week.
You know who else gets on the list for Stunt Queen?
Who?
Muriel Bowser.
Oh. Now, you know I fucks with Muriel.
I fucks with Muriel too, but you know, when we originally posted that, you know, people were a little skeptical of that whole Black Lives Matter thing as a stunt. But now she, you know, despite the fact that, you know, the city council banned chokeholds and she said she supported that bill, she has deployed the police to prevent protesters on Black Lives Matter Plaza. Police have still are still using chokeholds. There are a number of police cases in the District of Columbia where they've asked to release videotape and stuff, and she has blocked or not supported that. She's in favor of this budget measure that would defunding the police, would actually increase their budget. So was that all?
But I feel like with Muriel, she's in direct conflict with the entire administration, and because she's here in Washington D.C., she's trying to keep the boundaries set between her and this administration. Because at one point, literally, Donald was like, "Well, I'm going to use your police force. We're going to put everything out on the street." And Muriel was like, "No, but you're not doing that."
I'm not suggesting that I'm not suggesting that she hasn't done good things for the city, and that even though it was a stunt, I mean, a stunt for stunt's sake is still a gag. So I'm still down with the Black Lives Matter. But I'm just saying, before we're quick to, you know, anoint her Saint Muriel.
Well, I didn't say she was Saint. I didn't say she was Saint Muriel, but I fucks with that. Was, listen, for me, in my book, that goes down in the annals.
Oh, 100%.
And like, listen, girl,
it's the gaggiest gag, you know, that I've seen in a minute.
Listen, it is the definition of stunt queen. Yes, for me. So that's just where I'm at. But you know, I'm a little. I don't know. I don't know if she's gonna make the list, but I mean, she can make the list. But
no, I just wanted to mention it. So
she don't get my vote for, you know, Stunt Queen of the Week. She got it, but
yeah.
So anybody else you want to add to the list?
No.
Okay. So we have Kanye.
Yeah.
Bob Johnson.
Yeah.
The K-pop fans. Mm-hmm. And then we also have these straight men who don't back there.
That's not a stunt. That's just disgusting.
But again, the audacity that you're going to sit here and say that I will not wipe my ass because it's gay. You're pulling a stunt. That's a stunt.
Not to me.
And you're gonna back it up? Oh yeah, I guess it's not.
Well, no, for me, that stunt now goes to the K-pop fans because that's a stunt.
Well thought out.
Got your music in
I hear music in the background.
Yes.
Look over there.
Look over there. Yes. All right, so are we going to talk about Black Lives Matter at all? All right, so
We're not gonna vote. Oh, sorry. I thought that's how that worked. I forgot.
Well, listen, since you brought it up,
since you are all right,
since
so
you all are here,
How do we get to vote?
so I vote for K-pop fans. Who you voting for? Shitty kitty.
Because the audacity is what's getting me. So I'm let you check.
I'm shitty booties. Shitty kitty.
Shitty kitty. I'm sorry.
Shitty kitty.
So we got 4 shitty kitties, 5 shitty kitties.
Yeah.
Shitty kitty wins. Shitty kitties, you are the.
Shitty kitty wins it. Okay. All right. So Black Lives Matter.
All right, so I want to tell you the story of Elijah McClain. Oh, so on the evening of August 24th, 2009, Elijah McClain was walking home from his local convenience store. A passerby noticed Elijah wearing a ski mask, flailing his arms and listening to music. They called 911, although they told the dispatcher they didn't believe anyone was in danger. Elijah routinely wore masks when went outside because he had anemia and became cold easily. When officers arrived and tried to stop Elijah, he continued walking and said, "I have a right to go where I'm going." When an officer touched him, Elijah said, "I am going home, leave me alone, and let me go." He also said, "No, let me go. I'm an introvert. Please respect my boundaries." A struggle ensued, and 3 officers wrangled Elijah, who weighed 140 pounds, toward a lawn, threw him against the wall, then tackled him to the ground. One of the officers applied a carotid control hold against Elijah's neck while Elijah cried and pleaded, "Ouch, that really hurts," he said. "I'm so sorry. I don't have a gun. I don't do that stuff." At one point, an officer spotted another officer's body camera pointed at him and said, "Dude, move your camera." Elijah was handcuffed. Then medics injected him with ketamine to sedate him, a dose appropriate for a man much larger than Elijah. McClain suffered 2 heart attacks while he was taken to the hospital. He was pronounced brain dead on August 30th, 2019. He was 23 years old. None of the officers or medics present at the scene were charged. Nathan Woodyard, Jason Rosenblatt, and Randy Rodema. They are the men that killed Elijah McClain. The words of this man, which I'm going to say, these are my personal words that I support. They are terrorists. And the hashtag is justice for Elijah McClain. And if you see, post this, I was a little shy. Mousy is the wrong word, but he was very sort of introverted, shy. He literally went to animal shelters and played the violin for cats.
Yep. Oh wow!
For the animals. This was the kind of kid that he was. So when we talk about defund the police, why are they injecting people with horse tranquilizers? Because that's what ketamine is.
Yeah.
Ketamine is a horse. That's K. When the kids talk about we're taking K at the club, that's what they're talking about. Why are they injecting human beings with horse tranquilizers in the first place? Second, I'm going to assume that this person was white. If no one was in danger, Miss White Woman, which I'm just going to assume, why did you call the police in the first fucking place? This is the thing that $350,000 per Negro in this country isn't going to fix.
Right.
All it's going to do is like, wow, that nigga got enough money to bury himself.
No, seriously. What state? I didn't catch that. Where was that? Because I mean, I didn't know that you could medically on a scene do that to somebody.
I think it's in Illinois somewhere. Bumfuck. Let's just call it bumfuck. But I mean,
Sorry.
it wasn't like Chicago or something. But it was. I don't know exactly where it was. But my point is that that's fucked up. And so, at least one of the things that I'm going to be doing is highlighting these things. Yeah, because I was just like, what? Why? This whole thing didn't need to happen. It didn't need to happen at all. And I really felt bad for Elijah because here we are halfway through 2020 and we're just now hearing about this thing that happened in 2019, probably because so many times these things happen and, we just don't. I don't. Yeah, I wanted to bring the mood of the party down. I mean, I want us to party. I want us to live our lives, but
you did. It's okay. But it's necessary.
Yeah, it needs to be. We need to remember these things, and we need to stay present. And so, again, this is why things like voting in your local elections are important. I had another point. There was some other story that I had because Oh, so it's funny because, my Twitter is, it's about half foolishness and fuckery and half, all cops are bad, defund the police, and Black Lives Matter. And so, people have been friending me. And then I was like, okay, about to be in for a rude awakening. So
I'm going to bring some other laughter in. That's cute. Okay.
Yeah, that's the foolishness and fuckery.
Okay.
I'm looking for something that I had.
Well, find that and we'll talk about that in a second. But
yeah,
I'm going to bring the mood up for a second. So Beyonce released a new song highlighting supporting the Black community. On Juneteenth, she announced her new single, Black Parade. It was a strategic post that fell on Black holiday that honors the end of slavery in the United States. But can we just talk about Juneteenth for a second and the fact that this slavery was abolished 2 years before these people in Texas even knew that they were free? And I'm having a fundamental problem with Juneteenth because we're celebrating 2 years later that these people figured out that they were free. I mean, I'm here for it and I understand it, but it's just 2 years, not a week or a month. 2 years.
You can elaborate on the Juneteenth.
Elaborate on what it is.
I know what it is. You're saying the state.
So
the Emancipation Day was 1865. I can't remember the exact date.
It was 1860.
So it's 1863 was the Emancipation Day.
Okay.
And then they in June, right? That's what I'm saying. 2 years later, yes.
Right. They didn't find out till 2 years later because I'm sure it was people in Texas that knew, and they were just like, "We're not going to tell. We're not going to tell these Negroes because we tell them then
right." Right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, what'd you think of the song?
So listen, I like Beyonce. Y'all know I'm a Janet person, and I like Beyonce. I like a lot of her stuff, but this one it didn't move me one way or the other. But that's just me.
Yeah, it didn't.
Wait on next.
It didn't put no toot in my horn.
Yeah, it didn't. I mean, it's not bad. I didn't think
it's not terrible. And when people were telling me the words, and I listened to the words,
the words are great,
but the tune.
I was like, all right. And for me, the other piece of it was I couldn't figure out. As of lately, she's been doing this syncopation thing where she's kind of like, and it's throwing me off a little bit. And that's a bitch. Maybe I'm just old because I'm like, bitch.
Yeah, there's that.
Like, I can't catch the, but that's
real trendy.
For several of Beyonce's, well, at least the last 2 or 3 songs, because like I remember when Formation first came out, I was like, I don't feel it.
No,
but then the second time, like the second, but like maybe like the third or fourth time, I was like, okay, okay. I mean, like at first, I really was not feeling it at all.
It was cute, kind of growing. But like even the song with the Becky with the good hair, like that took me the longest time to be like, But I was like, okay. I mean, I got it eventually. And it's like, okay, that's cute.
Also on this, as part of that, she highlighted a list of Black-owned businesses.
She did
to support,
and she's been getting a lot of flack for that because they keep telling her to stick with doing pop music and stay in your lane, and she's like, but you can't fight my blackness. You can't deny my blackness. This is what it is. So I feel like this is going to be an ongoing struggle for her, as with a lot of artists that we actually over the years have known. Like your Stevie Wonders, your Michael Jackson, like they were very politically active and doing shit in the community and fighting shit. So it's like she's going down that road again, So,
but she has the resources and the money and the power to make a stand.
She does,
and the platform. So she don't do nothing to worry about.
Well, I mean, again, I think in the long run, we're going to see how involved she actually is going to be.
Yeah.
Because if it starts increasingly more involved, that's true. But when it starts fucking with her money, I guarantee you she's gonna pull back just a little bit.
Right. I'm not a Beyonce fan. I'm fucking Beehives. I'm not a Beyonce fan.
Right.
But
so the other story that I wanted to mention in terms of Black Lives Matter is it goes with Mount Vernon, New York, which is just north of the Bronx. In secretly recorded phone calls, officers say innocent people were framed. And so this police officer, who was also a whistleblower, was talking about how officers were framing people, sometimes by planting drugs and guns on them, sometimes by colluding with witnesses to have them wrongly identify people. And, all of this was presented to the Bronx District Attorney or whatever. And nothing happened with that. So all I wanted to add was that when we talk about defunding the police, it's not literally just the police. It's the system. It's, the prosecutorial system. It's all of those sorts of things. So that's all I want to say about that.
Okay. That's absolutely true, though. But I mean, in Baltimore, they had the corrupt aid funding.
Yes.
They had the corrupt aid. They were doing exactly that.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to mention before we actually get into our celebration is that we have some people that are actually going to get stars on the Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lewis.
Yeah.
Well, no, she's in. No, but that's not. She's in. You have a couple people that are getting stars on the Walk of Fame. Several of hip hop's biggest female pioneers will be receiving a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2021. You have Missy and Salt and Pepper, who are the first female rappers to receive a star on Hollywood Walk of Fame. You also have Morris Chestnut, Don Cheadle, Carly Jennifer Lewis, Judge Ray Mathis, Big Boy, and Wildin' Out host Nick Cannon. Don't do that.
Host?
Because there's about two of them in there that I'm kind of like,
Rick Cannon? Judge Mathis and Nick Cannon?
I was like, Nick Cannon, whether I like what he does or not, the bitch has star power. He has a lot of shit behind his name, writing credits, shows. Like, this man has been working forever.
If you say so.
And yes, he has been working. And on top of that, he's constantly overlooked. But this man, I don't know if he's a billionaire, but this man is not worrying for shit.
Right. I mean,
he get that.
And I'm not saying
every month from Mariah, so he good.
Big Mr. Mariah.
I mean, that's disingenuous.
But anyway, also, August Wilson is actually will be honored with a posthumous star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame as well. So 2021 is going to have a lot of.
When we go out to LA, so we'll all dress up as our favorite Jennifer Lewis character.
Well, I mean,
Take a picture of that
I'm going to look at me.
Well, I'm going as Coco.
Aphrodite in the 90s. Yield.
Right. So, I'm fine with that. Okay. So that is pretty much the gist of what we had going on, except for our drag race.
Yeah, we'll get to
legendary moments. But we're going to take a moment now because, again, I wanted to start the celebration because this is our 100th episode. And it is a celebration. And I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. We really, 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 really absolutely appreciate you all.
We appreciate you.
And we also appreciate all of you that could not be here with us. So we have this bottle of rosé that was donated to us by so we are going to open this. Thanks. We appreciate Carrington Manor and all that you all do. Thank you. We love you. So we have this bottle here, and I'm gonna need everybody to be real classy because we had our tacos already. I need everybody to be real classy and get your red cups out. We're gonna get this rosé popping for everybody.
Thanks.
Oh shit, girl! Oh my God!
Put it where?
Right there, the dark spot. Right.
It's fine. Where?
It's
a small one.
Don't worry about it. That was cute.
Just don't mention it. Just don't mention it.
He upstairs watching right now.
We're gonna edit that out.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
We got a red cup.
Can we share with the rest of the people first?
That's why you have to
Around.
And we want to get this.
Yeah.
Just get a little taste. Make sure we got enough for everybody.
It's a little sweet.
Listen, because we are so classy, we just gonna make sure everybody get their red cup. We're gonna toast to everybody. It's just a taste. It's just a taste.
Thank you.
It is not a flute, unfortunately. Some of our
this ain't a flute either, but
Separate equal.
So you say that you don't want to?
No, I'm saying.
All right. Do you want some more? Okay, there you go. Oh, now you want to be. He's so classy. He even chewed the edges of his red cup. He is so. Oh my God! Yes, I am here for it. I am here for it.
I should bite my straw.
Okay. So, thank you all for 100 episodes. So, I'm going to take this moment. So, before we do it, I'm going to take this. Listen, little known facts and stuff you didn't know about this show. We're going to talk about this now. So, the first 100 episodes of this show. Well, first of all, the show came about because we were invited to do a talk show with The Anomaly and a couple other. I can't remember.
Well, no, before that, remember we were invited to do that Twitter thing. It was the two of us plus Gray and Deviant and
that's right. We were at your space. Yeah, I mean, at your house. Right. We talked. Okay, we did that, and then yes,
you were there.
And then we wound up doing another show, and then we wound up doing. So we had this conversation. We're like, bitch, we
right. And I had already been doing this, so he's like,
yeah, and he's been doing this for quite some time.
Party and bullshit, you know.
And so when we went over to the studio, we found the place, and we kind of set this whole thing up, and Dominion was leading the pack with it because I was just like, bitch, just give me a microphone and give me a light, bitch, I'll perform. Bitch. Right. That's what I did. Hello. Thank you. I'm having an emotional moment. I'm trying to. We will have no more guests. No more guests. But anyway,
to go on Wendy on Wendy.
All of that.
Have your fucking phone on.
All of that to say. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We appreciate you guys, the friendships. We appreciate the love. We appreciate the brotherhood. I'm not going to get all emotional. I ain't going to do that shit. So, but I'm happy that you all are here. And I'm happy that you all are there as well. And I'm thinking the unseen intern, Ed, because he didn't see this dent for his contributions as well. So, yeah. Anything you want to pop off? Okay. All right. Cheers. 100 episodes. Thank you all. Thank you.
Shabbat Shakuda.
Shalom. Shabbat.
There you go.
Yes. It's been fun. Mostly.
Hold that bottle.
The Rosé Moët.
That's kind of good.
No, but I mean, I've had an absolutely wonderful time, even on those weeks where I was like, girl,
bitch, listen.
especially when because like for the first 80-some episodes, we were going to the fucking studio,
which was actually fun in the sense that
when we got there. But sometimes you're like, bitch, I don't really want to
like
go all the
going. Like,
way.
I don't want to do this shit. Like, I'm tired. Like, oh, bitch. And then we made the announcement that we were taking off in July,
Yes,
as well as December, because July's coming for the month of July as well. So we have one more episode actually before we take off.
when did we say we didn't say we were going to do that this year?
We are taking off the month of July. Yes, we are. We always take off the month of July. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
That's what we doing.
I'm not sure if that's what you're doing. You were doing.
So see y'all in August. We come back.
I mean, we usually do that because we had travel and other stuff to do, but we ain't going nowhere. Okay, so it'll be the BGKH show with Dominion. For the next month. No, okay, I mean, I guess. Alrighty then, well, that was lovely. So, no, it's fine.
I moved on.
You give a sitting guest.
We've had a conversation about that because I've had a conversation about two of our brothers, Gray as well as Deviant, kind of sitting in and doing a segment. Actually, wave your hands for the people so they know who you are. Thank you. I'm sorry. What was your segment called again?
This bitch.
Was it fuck that bitch? Or
Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch of the week. So we'll figure that out.
We'll talk about it.
We'll figure that out. So,
Or the tea report, because we got the tea.
You do have the tea. So.
Listen, what about sources? I'm just saying, we just be chitty chatting, just shooting shit, and I'm like, okay,
yes,
that's what we do. But
so, are we moving on?
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of tea, so I have some legendary tea. Spill. The legendary tea is that the entire concept of legendary was stolen.
Did we talk about that?
No.
Okay. I thought we talked about that, but not on the show. I thought we talked about that.
No, I don't recall that.
Yes, because there was a whole article about that.
Yes.
We talked. Thank you. We talked about that. Yes.
So this guy, his name was Michael Rice.
Yes.
Who is a black queer filmmaker and activist, alleges that the entire treatment for Legendary, down to some of the people that's on the show, like Laomi, there was a treatment, and that they had actually been assigned to contracts to participate in the show, and they had filmed pilot episodes and reels, and he had shopped that around to a number of
different, matter of fact,
and Deshaun down to around to a number of different production companies, and they all said, "Oh no, the market is saturated with ballroom stuff," and I was like, "Based on what?" But that's what they said, and then 2 years later, here comes Legendary. So he is working on a lawsuit.
And listen, if he has the receipts, like I know most of the gay kids,
he said he does because he showed it to whatever organization he showed it to.
If he has the receipts that show up in court, listen, I hope he gets every dime he's supposed to get. I hope he gets every dime he's supposed to get.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of Legendary, I'm gonna come back to Legendary, but let's start on with Drag Race first. Mm-hmm. So did y'all catch the Drag Race last week? Everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. So listen, we have. There was some shade that came around Miss Cracker's method of apologizing from Alexis and Mayhem. And so apparently Miss Cracker was upset with Angina because she felt that she was giving up and she didn't want to be there. So so her thing was, she said to Angina, see what I'm saying?
This is why I put my phone on Do Not Disturb You when I'm in the middle of the show.
We'll come back to that.
Okay. Is that a this bitch?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Always in the background. So anyway, So yeah, she had this up. She was up with Angina because she felt like as an all-star she shouldn't be giving up and all this other stuff. But it was messy. It was real messy
and unnecessary.
It was unnecessary. So then,
sometimes the mess is required.
Well, in this particular instance, it was unnecessary. And so at some particular point, she tried to go back and apologize to Angina, which was actually before. What happened?
Michael is on his phone. I was like, "Girl, is the show not interesting enough?"
Excuse me. We're over here.
Ooh. Does it count if we're talking to people who are watching the show?
You, sir, in the plaid shirt. Can I help you with the big cup?
I'm gonna say, why are you wearing flannel in the summertime?
Ooh, who does that?
That's what I was going to ask.
So we're going to refocus. When I come back, we're losing everything. Okay.
Ooh.
So
this is why we don't allow alcohol in the studio.
Right. No alcohol in the studio. So anyway, this particular week, after that whole crap went down with Angina and Miss Cracker, whatever, let's get into the actual week and what went on. They had to build boutique hotels and create 3 different rooms that were boutique hotels. So the team, there were 3 different teams. It was Mayhem and Blair, Miss Cracker, Shay, and Mariah, and then there was also Jujubee, India, and Alexis. So Mayhem and Blair did the 24 karat gold room, and Blair and Mayhem were pretty good.
It was giving me. They were trying too hard to give me Club 96.
But it was cute though. I thought even then Club 96 was cute. I thought that was
no. I mean, I love Club 96. I just felt like they were. You know what we should do? We should do Club 96, but gold.
Oh, I'm saying it was kind of cute.
It was.
I thought Blair actually did really well.
Yeah.
But then it was Miss Cracker, Shay, and Mariah. They did the Golden Gals Palace report. And it was many Golden Girl jokes, but they just didn't land. Like they were kind of fucked up. Like they didn't. The one joke that she was talking about when she was like, "Picture it," and I was like, "Oh, bitch, that's gonna be everything." But that was like what's his face said? Ross said that was Sophia's joke and you're Dorothy. Like, how are you gonna do that? But it was a cute concept of how she did it. Then there was Jujubee, India, and Alexis. They did the Glam Zone. And it was kind of boring to me, but the pit crew guy was absolutely every fucking thing. Yum! Yum!
That's a light skin one.
Oh my God, he was just thick and caramel all over the place. Jesus!
Blah, 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 something, yeah, or other.
You give him my number?
Yeah, I got to text him. I don't find it.
Okay, well, give my number. So anyway, that was I don't even know his name. It's just pit crew guy. You just show up in the boxers and in the little bikinis. I'm good. But anyway, so this week they also had guest judges, and they were Nicole Byer and Martin Lawrence Villard. He is a designer, and Nicole Byer,
never heard of.
And Nicole Byer is a comedian, actress, and so she's been making her rounds. We're gonna gloss over all that because they felt that Mayhem and Blair's skit was the best.
Yeah.
However, because I thought Blair did very well. However, they thought Jujubee did the best, and they named Jujubee the winner.
Jujubee and Shay are the top 2 in my mind right
now. And I feel the same way. But I also am not going to overlook or discount Cracker as well as Alexis. Mm-hmm. So let's see how that goes. But anyway, so they hit the main stage after they found out. I'm sorry, before they announced who the winners were. They did the main stage look. Rue always comes out with a gown and a look, and I already know how you feel, but I'm gonna just let the people know how you feel. But this gown that Rue came out in,
a mess.
What?
It was so the gown was like it was giving me Muppets.
It really was.
2020.
She skinned a fucking Muppet.
Maybe even a transgender Muppet that was trying to transition from one. I'm not quite sure what it was because it was like you had Muppet fur and it wasn't quite. I didn't quite.
It was just a lot.
It was a lot. It was like it was so many attempts to do something and it wasn't quite right.
Gowns have generally been off this season.
I don't know what that's all been all about, but it hasn't been. It hasn't been.
Gown.
Well, listen, that McCall's pattern number 4512 is the same pattern.
It's literally the same pattern.
It's the same pattern, just different fabric.
Right.
You know, I'm just saying. Whatever.
It works.
It works for her. It's that thing's going to be cut like this. It's going to have a waist. It's going to show. Listen, anyway. But they had to do 3 different looks on the main stage for their runway look. And I thought this was actually cute because Blair did a 50s look, a 60s look, and then a 70s look, which I thought was real cute, the way she did it. Mayhem did this power suit, and then it was like it turned into a bathing suit. I didn't see what the third look was as far as I was concerned, but
her first look was the coat.
It was the coat. Is that what? But so thank you for that.
A lot of the girls got in trouble for wearing coats.
But that was the other part. Mariah came down in what I thought was one of the baddest motherfucking like electric feather coats and these motherfucking glasses and these helmet on. It was just amazing to me. Yeah. And Michelle Visage was like, a coat is not really a look. And I was like,
bitch, you have never worn a good coat before.
Yeah, because that coat was everything. And the wind blowing, and you see the feathers just.
Yeah.
Well, so then there's that. So then we get the Cracker who comes out, which I thought was a cute concept. She came out with her gown. It was flipped up, and it would look like an egg, like a Fabergé egg. Yes. And then she opened it up, and it revealed another look. And then she peeled that off, and then she was another. And I was like, okay, well.
I felt like the egg into the dress was a concept, but that wasn't a separate look. Because the egg wasn't a separate look.
There was only 2 looks. So she had 2 looks. Mayhem had 2 looks.
She had a reveal and a second look.
Right. Then they talked about India Ferrer. And they were talking about how India Ferrer didn't give 3 looks. And I was like, well, I kind of agree with them, but India Ferrer had 19,000 accessory pieces. It was like she had the jacket and the coat and the pants and the scarf and the belt and the pussy belt. And it was like, girl, it was a lot. But I thought it was a cute look, though. It was cute. When she walked off with all that ass and the belt hanging to the side, I was like, oh, that was cute. Like, that worked. I was here for it. Alexis had one of the most dramatic looks as well, with the whole thought-out thing of being a circus tent, and then being a ballerina, and then being a trapeze artist. But they gave her grief for the gown being green. And I was like, but why? Who cares? Anyway, then they got to our girl, Juju. I love me some Juju. I really do. But I feel like, and we've had this conversation before about Juju and her looks. Juju does everyday fish looks. Like she does, I'm a woman and I'm going to just go throw this on and I'm going to pick this up at Forever 21 and I'm going to just go be a woman and I'm going to go roll on. And it works for her. Right. But these looks that she brought to the stage, she came out with this witch costume and then she became Mrs. Claus and then she became the Easter Bunny. And I was like, girl, and that was really a Playboy bunny, but I was like, oh, what? Okay, whatever. But then Shay, on the other hand, who had this bright ass combination look that was a whole story of a butterfly and a cocoon and a chrysalis and the moth. I mean, it wasn't the butterfly, it was a moth, and it was a whole bit. They gave her grief for that, saying it looked very costumey and very homemade.
Because the look that she, if you follow her on Twitter, the look that she showed on Twitter was a lot more refined than what she had on stage. Because it looked like she was sweating and like the makeup was running a little bit and everything, so it didn't read as well on the show as it did from her Instagram and Twitter.
So I haven't seen her Instagram and Twitter feed, and I was kind of like, okay. But anyway, after that showing, that put her ass down at the bottom. And remember, she won last week. She won the first 20K during the lip sync. So that put her in the bottom 3. It was her, Mariah, and India that were in the bottom 3. Right. So then what they wound up doing was they wanted to say Juju won. And they made her the winner. So this is the first time she's ever won in all 3 seasons, all 3 times she's been on the show. So she was emotional. So she started crying. And I was like, oh, girl, what's the problem? She's like, you're the first time I ever won. You want a carrot? I was like, bitch. But okay. But anyway, since she won, everybody had to go backstage and choose who they wanted to leave and all that other stuff. And they brought out the lip sync assassin. Lip sync assassin this week was Monet Exchange.
Can I just say that, these girls are bullshit. Because let me tell you, if we were all on the show, I'd be like, I love you, girl, but if you were my best competition, bitch, I'm sending you home. You gotta go. I'm like, oh, fuck all of this. Oh, I want girls who are
if you're my competition.
Why the fuck would you want somebody that could take your seat? You want the audience or the rest of the girls to be full of weak links.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I see that.
Because I would have been like, if it had been me, and all of the other girls have voted like Shay would have been gone. Not because I don't like Shay, because I love Shay, but I was like, Shay, of the ones that was in the bottom, I was like, Shay's clearly the strongest one. So I'd have been like, yeah, you got to go. So
they want to play all friends and everything. They would kumbaya and everything else, and so that's what they want to do. But in any event, this lip sync,
and also with the girls be like, You would have voted for me? You're like, yes, bitch, I would have voted for you. It doesn't mean that I don't like you. This ain't RuPaul's best friend race. Unless your best friend will give you $100,000. And I mean, that might be true. You got $100,000 from me?
Well, bitch, if it's only $100,000 prize, bitch, I give you $5.
Oh, if you give me $5,000, we still good.
Yeah, bitch, I'm gonna give you $5. That's all I'm gonna give you.
Yeah, you like a deal, honey.
Bitch, I'll be like Miss Alaska. I'll PayPal you $10,000 right now. But anyway, I digress.
Mm-hmm.
So the bottom three, like I said, India, Mariah, and also Shay. And then the lip sync assassin was Monet Exchange.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, I love Monet Exchange. I think Monet Exchange she has a lot of charisma and she's funny and her lip syncs are good.
Yes.
But this was kind of like I didn't think it was all that great for me. And I think she feeds off of the crowd or off her competition. So it wasn't really all that great for me.
Yeah,
so
but Juju wasn't necessarily
and Juju was like, well, I'm a lip sync assassin because I sent Sahara home. I said this, and I was like, yeah, but you did, but
they sent themselves.
Like it was like, okay, girl. So anyway, after that, they that lip sync exchange, because it wasn't a lip sync battle. That lip sync exchange that they did, they know that Monet Exchange actually won. So then she revealed that the girls nominated that Mariah should go home. I was a little sad because I like Mariah. I think Mariah, I agree with a lot of their comments in that she didn't have a whole bunch of personality on stage and everything else, and she's trying to let her personality show through, but she wound up going home. But I think Mariah is a competitor, and so she always brings something new to the game.
Yes, so fine.
But yeah, she'll be fine because that bitch, she's always working. So, but anyway, next up we got $20,000 for the tip for next week. So we'll see who comes out next week, and we'll see what they got to do.
Yeah.
So, but now on to Legendary. Listen. I watched Legendary and I was so fucking emotional by Legendary. I couldn't even get I wrote all the shit, but this is the wrong shit.
Mm-hmm.
I need to explain to you all. I need to explain to you all that this episode for Legendary was everything. It was titled "Remember the Time," and so they all had to come out in like mummy costumes as well as something that was.
It was just historical,
like something historic. And they did. It wasn't necessarily, but anyway, people did different things. Let's fast forward through all the houses because I don't give a damn about anything else. What I care about right now, what was the most emotional for me was it came down to two houses. It came down to Ebony and it came down to Long Day. And I'm not discounting the show in any way, shape, or form, but this battle was everything for me.
It was the first actual battle.
It was so for those people that have never been to a ball and have never seen a battle and have never been in the shit when shit happens, that battle on stage between Shorty and Michaela,
yes,
that is a motherfucking ball. I need people to bring it like that every time. And bitch, I understood every single thing that both Michaela and Shorty was feeling because it's almost like you are working, like it's a job inside the ballroom to make yourself to be known, to be the best at what the fuck you do, to always show up, to always be in a new garment, to make sure that your performance is on point, to make sure you're not shady to somebody. And if you are shady, you cut that bitch down and you keep it moving. Like it is a lot of fucking work. And so when you look at it this way, that these kids have been in the ballroom scene for a couple of years and making their marks, and they are statements or legends, or they're actually stars or statements, not legends yet, in the ballroom, so people know exactly who they are. And bitch, you are on this show finally, and it has now come down to you and one of your good Judies. And you know that they're good Judies because their voguing styles are exactly the same. Exactly the same. So when Shorty ran over and hugged Michaela before they started the battle and he was crying, bitch, I felt every single thing. One of my good Judies, and I don't even know if he's tuned in tonight, he's a little brother to me, Desmond. Listen, bitch, he was a Revlon, and bitch, we used to hit that ballroom scene, and bitch, we always went to, everybody knew we came together. Bitch, we had to battle each other. We were like,
I know you about to go down.
Wait, and then I drove, so the bitch was riding with me, so I was like, so listen, bitch, I felt it. I felt everything about it. It was like but again, at the end of the day, for us, we realized that it was fun for us. Like it was just like we had jobs, we were working. Like ballroom was fun for us, and we had a good time. But for them, it is their life. So I understand the emotion that was tied to it. But bitch, they made me cry because bitch, when I tell you they was voguing their asses off, bitch, I was feeling every single dip, hop, spin. And when Miss Michaela, as well as Shorty, ran over to the crowd and jumped into the crowd, they popped his ass back out. They did the same thing for Michaela. And that bitch got on her head with this ponytail and did this little spin. I was like, yes! I was feeling it.
Yes.
And then they had to vote to see who actually stayed. Spoiler alert, Shorty went home, and that means that Ebony left and Lon Ben stayed, and bitch, I was in tears. I could not get myself together. I'm sitting in my bed like, what the fuck is wrong with this shit? This is fucking air shit. But I was feeling it. So, legendary, but you did it. I don't know what this next week is going to bring, but I'm just saying, I had a moment. It was cute. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So
I certainly enjoyed the final battle. You know, the show still.
The show, like everything, I've said what I said about the show before, in the sense that the judges, I feel like their responses are scripted, and it just annoys me. But that battle was everything.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, who was the guest judge? I can't even remember who the guest judge was this week. Because I didn't even care about any of that. I got into that.
Was it this week that
Nico was last week?
What's the British chick?
Oh, Kelly Osbourne.
Kelly Osbourne was
she was the guest judge,
and she didn't say shit the whole show, which is fine.
Which was fine.
She got in trouble for it.
Well, yeah. But anyway, so but I'm here for it. So legendary, you have a fan, and I enjoyed that one scene. So. Listen, Naomi was crying. Deshaun was starting crying, and I was just like, bitch, because and when she made this speech about it, bitch, I remember seeing kids that come to the ball, and they have the same shit they had on the night before, because I saw them in the club, because they didn't have any place to fucking stay. Like, I mean, I just felt everything. I felt all of that. So, I felt their struggle. And then Shorty's backstory about how when he goes back home, is that so you know where home is, to have a place to stay. Right. So it's like, I felt that. Like, anyway, I'm not emotional.
Well, that was a fun show, wasn't it? Did everyone enjoy themselves?
Yeah.
Happy episode 100.
Yeah. 100 more episodes. Oh my God, I have another cocktail. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
To another 100 episodes.
Oh,
Cheers, queers. So listen, just so you all know, the BGKH show streams live on Wednesdays on Facebook, Facebook.com.
And,
well, hold on, let me get
no, but not only Facebook, but as of today, YouTube.
Oh,
So we are streaming live, not only on Facebook, but also on YouTube. Bitch, we about to make some money. We about to make some money.
Y'all can do live. Y'all can do what's the thing called?
Oh, girl, just read the shit because you high.
You can do super chats on YouTube and stuff too. Yeah, they can send money.
Yeah. So all we got to do, once we get more than 1,000 subscribers to the channel, then we can start monetizing the channel. So everybody, go to
Chat MAH,
youtube.com/BGKH show.
Chat MAH is the Cash App. Anyway, so the BGKH show streams live on Wednesdays on Facebook.com/BGKH show, as well as on YouTube. You can search for us if you search for the BGKH show with Dominion and Epic.
Yes.
Our show runs from 8 to 9:30 Eastern and 5 to 6 p.m. Pacific. Episodes are going to be available every Friday. Actually, they're available after this show. You can search, like I said, for the BGKH show with Dominion and Epic. We will be opening our chat conversation back up once we get that situated. But we also have spaces for live audience members as well, as we have tonight. And we want to thank you all once again for being here tonight. Now, also, we will not be playing any music.
No, we will not.
So if you need to get in touch with me, you can reach me at EpicOnyx1 on Twitter. You can also reach me on EpicOnyx on Instagram. You can also find me at Facebook.com/EpicOnyx. Dominion, how can people reach you?
You can reach me on Twitter and Instagram at DomOnyx, and on Facebook at Facebook.com/Dominion.Onyx, as well as my website, www.domonyx.com. And as Chet said, you can As Epic said, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com.
As long as the check is right.
Right. Exactly. You put the wrong name on the check, we can't cash it.
As long as the check is right.
You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/BGKH show and on YouTube at youtube.com/BGKH show. And you can email us at bgkhshow@gmail.com. So
we have some other brothers I didn't get to see on here. We have Coyote, we have Elimination, we have KG, Cortez, Louboutin. I don't even know who else is on here, but thank you all for tuning in. I know you guys could be spending your COVID any other way, but we appreciate you guys spending time with us. Like I said, hello to Lola, hello to Tyra. I'm not sure who else is on. Midas, I'm not sure if you're on here or not. Spill It Boy, I'm not sure if you're here or not. Dez, I'm not sure if you're here or not, but anybody that's out there, hey, hi, cocktail.
hallelujah. So you know what? It has been an exciting journey, and I'm glad you all are here because I am resigning now. I ain't going. You see how the we ain't even officially logged off of this episode yet. Someone's already trying to take my job. They took their jobs. Anyway,
You about to lose your job.
We want to thank y'all for coming out. God bless you and good night.
Yeah, good job, man.
That was fun.